1 foot forward, then the next, for that's the way we go. We make a merry journey, and we sing our song of hope. The bright moss grows on bark and stone, so we like moss we must. If there's food and light and dew to drink, well, that's enough for us.
Deirdrick continued to sing his walking song as he carved his route through the flowers. They were blooming earlier this year, though with the abysmal spring they'd had last year it was no wonder they might want to take advantage of the sun a little sooner. The 2 small children following him had not gone unnoticed, but Deirdrick decided it would be up to them to introduce themselves if they wished, and so he carried on. The presence of his tiny followers offered the same reassurance as the flowers, though, that Deirdrick was indeed in the right place. He reached the small river at the edge of the meadow and searched upstream, his eyes immediately locking onto the bridge and the buildings that sat either side of the river, forming the small village of Gelling. A whole year had passed since Deirdrick was in Gelling, and he missed it so very much. The people, the food, and the music. Gelling was so far removed from the troubles of the world that to Deirdrick it represented a last bastion of hope, that kindness and joy might still prevail. Deirdrick paused to dip his feet in the shallow edge of the river. He washed his face and hands, then dried them on his grubby cloak, before setting off upriver towards the not-so-distant Gelling. He watched the smoke rising from chimneys and smiled to himself as he strolled. A small voice shook Deirdrick from his thoughts, reminding him of his hidden companions.
"Are you the healer? What's going to make everyone better?"
the child asked, keeping a reasonable distance. Deirdrick's heart sank as he turned to see the boy's eyes, swollen and red, his posture weak and stooped. Realization that the blight had reached Gelling hit Deirdrick like an avalanche. Realizing he had just stopped and stared, Deirdrick re-equipped his smile and nodded to the boy.
"I was certainly going to try."
This wasn't a lie. It wasn't why he had come to Gelling, but now that he was here, and so too was the blight, he would indeed try.